Hey folks, this is the second time I'm making this video. Hopefully this one actually works. I have just 3 quick updates for you folks, like life updates for me, Proteus updates for the channel, all of that kind of stuff, and I will not belabor the point. Number one, 15 days ago, I was notified that I have successfully interviewed to become a full-time professor and the director of debate at Diablo Valley College. Obviously, I already am the head debate coach there, but now I'm a full-time employee going forward in the fall. And frankly, this has just been one of my biggest dreams of my entire life. Like, if I was talking about the 3 biggest dreams I had, like, this is right there. That I wanted to be a professor at DVC because DVC was my school when I was a competitor. It's my community, and serving those students and just giving back in the same way that I was mentored and coached means the world to me. That was phenomenal. The second thing is the next day I had a kid. My wife gave birth. Won't be talking about my kid at all on this channel. I don't want anyone else to talk about my kid, please. Just whatever. Just wanted to notify you solely because obviously if I fail to make Proteus content or whatever, I've got a full-time job and I have a child now. And so I'm a little bit busier, but I will obviously still try and prioritize Proteus because I think that the work we do here is really important. And that was like one of my second biggest, dreams. Like, I always wanted to get this job. And part of that was because I always wanted to know that I'd be able to support my child and that I'd get to have a child with my wife. And me and my wife have been together for like 15 years, so this is really huge for us. That's that. Don't want to talk anymore about it. The third thing I want to talk about is debate related, and it's content related. There was a show or a series called Inside the Actor Studio, and it is hosted by James Lipton, who was the dean of the Actor Studio, and which essentially I guess is an acting school at some college. I forget which one. But he interviews actors, and talks to them about their origin story and just any advice they have for his student body. And James Lipton has been asked on a number of occasions, what's the number one interview you want to do? If you could interview anyone in the world that was an actor, living or dead, who would it be? And he always gave the same answer, which is, I want to interview the first person to come from my school and make it big. And make it so big that they have to appear on Inside the Actors Studio. And he did that because Bradley Cooper was a student there, and then obviously Bradley Cooper became immensely successful, and they interviewed him. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I feel the exact same way. I have looked forward to, for so long, since I was a grad student as a coach, and really since I was a competitor as a coach and failed to win the national championship, I have so dearly wanted, as one of my big goals in life, to be the coach of a national champion. And I was certainly not the coach of these kids this year. I don't want to take any credit for that in any way, shape, or form. But Brenna and Tristan, my DVC students who I've talked about, who I worked with the last 2 years, and our team captains, and they transferred to Berkeley last year, won the NPDA and NPTE national championships this last week. And Brenna was the top speaker at NPDA, and Tristan was the top speaker at NPTE. And NPDA was hosted at UOP, University of the Pacific, which y'all, in theory, know was my undergrad school. And NPTE, we hosted at DVC. And so they got to do it at home on a home soil or whatever. And they got to defend this house. The DVC thing part 2 is I'm going to start calling it. And we're going to get to interview them. And I just couldn't be more excited because I've they're easily the students I've worked the most with directly one-on-one, and who I became the most personally invested in their success because I just knew they could do it. And I believed in them pretty much from day one and worked so many hours with them. And ignoring debate, they are just such phenomenal people. They're the kindest people. They're friends to everyone in the community. Tristan bakes like a machine. Brenna's like Miss Congeniality, and everyone loves her. And they're both just such immensely talented competitors. And like, to know that I played some small part in that, and to get thanked. Like, I really just, for years, even if my kids weren't going to win nationals, I just really wanted to finally be a significant enough part of someone's journey that I got thanked during national finals. And both of them just made me bawl my eyes out at NPDA before they won the whole thing. And Brenna talked about how there was a round when she was still debating with Tanya, her second year at DVC, and she lost to Matt Hitomi, another former DVC alumni, and she was pretty heartbroken about it. And I gave her this big pep talk, and one of the things I told her was that I felt so horrible for how she had to feel in this moment because I knew someday she would win the national championship of debate because she was just such an incredible competitor. And Tristan was on the team at that time, but was a novice, and I had no idea until later that year that Tristan was also just like this stone cold killer and would just destroy everyone, and went into Viral Pie in her first year of debate and just took 3 golds. And then when they debated together their last year at DVC, they just bodied everyone. They were so good, and I felt so bad because there was just no way for me to get them to the NPDA and NPTE. And even last year, I really believed they could have done some damage there. So to finally get to see them do it and win it all meant the world to me, and I couldn't be more excited for that video and getting to interview those two, who I love dearly and am so proud of and excited for. But in addition to that, we're doing another interview because Brenna and Tristan actually closed out NPTE with their teammates from Berkeley, Arjun and Holden, and it turns out these two kids are like the biggest Proteus Debate fans, and like just like thanked Proteus Debate in their thank yous for nationals, and like are super excited to talk to Sasan and like wanted his contact information. And so bottom line, as a heads up, there will be at least 2 videos coming up for sure. Our interview with Brenna and Tristan, which couldn't be more excited for, and our interview with the Proteus biggest fans, Arjun and Holden. I'm honestly not even sure how much they're trolling. It seems like they actually just really like Proteus, and Brenna and Tristan were telling me they've been saying this all year. But bottom line, the reason I wanted to talk about that, other than to give you the content update, is to tell you that I appreciate all of you who watch this channel, because it's for you. It's really not for us. We insist on not making a penny from this channel. It only costs us time. It only costs us money. And we want it to be that way because we want it to be a means of giving back, and we wanted it to be a means of equalizing debate knowledge for people in the community. And to hear from 2 students who we never met, who we have no relationship whatsoever, that there was in some way some impact on them through this channel, and now they're national champions, is just phenomenal. And so the last thing I want to say is that if you're sitting there and you're watching this video, you made it to the end for whatever reason, and you're thinking to yourself, like, can I do it? Could I win nationals? Could I be an elite or excellent debater? Like, is it within me? Can I do it? I just want to remind you that for these 4 people, they also had that thought. They also had that question. And obviously they didn't do it because Proteus exists, but I just want you to hear from me, national champion coach, just kidding, doesn't count. I want you to hear from me that there's no reason you can't. It doesn't matter if you're a community college student who's brand new to debate. It doesn't matter if you competed in high school, but it was a super lay circuit. There is no reason why, if you work hard enough and you really try, you can't succeed. And that's not to say you will win nationals, but that is to say you should not give up on that dream. And so just a quick little update. Again, I'm over the moon. Pretty much every life ambition I've had was achieved in the last 15 days. And so, I don't know, fuck it. Maybe Brenna will win an FALD next year too. All right, see you, bye.